All the above.
I would live in hostels. I've lived in a camper one time for a winter. It got so cold one time in that camper. This other guy was actually sharing the camper with me. He got tired of my drinking and drug use, so he left. Well, he was the responsible one. He would actually put fire in this little wood stove. And when I was drinking too much, I fell asleep. It got so cold, it was like -20. I woke up and my back was locked up. I couldn't move for 3 hours.
Like you were just
Terrified. I just couldn't move. I thought I was gonna die.
So welcome back to another episode of Shooting the Shit. It's JC.
Would you like to keep it to about 45 minutes to an hour?
Yeah, because then people don't fucking
You
listen.
enjoy
It's
it?
like they're like, oh, it's too long, bro.
Well, especially with the, let's be real,
Shooting the shit.
fighters, Jiu Jitsu guys, stuff like that. You got about an hour.
Yeah. After that,
Kind of a
like,
niche market.
Yeah, that's why I like try to like separate it. But we're good, right? Mm-hmm. Hey guys. Today we got the pleasure of having Donny in the house. Donny is a guy that reached out to me, or I reached out to him. I don't know.
Somebody reached out.
Yeah, somebody DM'd somebody, but we are happy to have him. So thanks for coming, Danny. Shit, give him a hand, bro.
Donald.
Fuck,
Appreciate it, man.
let's get this shit rolling, dog. Hey, Danny. So, or Donny, I don't know you personally, bro. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I did behind the scenes. You said that you were from Alaska, bro.
Yes, sir.
So were you born and raised there, dog?
Yeah, so I was actually born in Seattle, Washington, which is a point of contention in my family because my mother, everybody else is from Alaska. My sisters are from Alaska. Everybody was born in Alaska. My mother decided to go get knocked up by some dude in Florida, and on her way back up to Alaska, stopped at Aunt Vicky's house in Seattle. I've been to Seattle like one time in my life, you know what I mean? But spent my whole life in Alaska. But I'm the only one who doesn't have the Alaska numbers on the Social Security card. So
God damn, I didn't know
You
that was a
get
thing.
different social security numbers?
Huh? You get the first three. The first three, no matter where you're from, like what state, they'll be slightly different. Than
I
the
didn't even know
others.
that.
Yeah, it mattered to me. You know what I mean? It's like,
He was like, you wanted the Alaska
I wanted
number?
the Alaskan. I'm from
He
Alaska.
said you wanted that Alaska area
So
code.
how long were you over there, bro? Like
In Alaska, about
Yeah.
half my life.
What's it like growing up in Alaska?
Man,
bunch
it's
of fishing.
It's a crazy fucking place. You know, it's like, I know you had Jimmy on here.
Yeah, he's from there too.
Alaska, man, like you think, you like envision Alaska, you think like maybe those old school shows for some of like the older viewers, like Northern Exposure, where like it's just this lovely little small town and there's some moose and shit. You know, but I mean, like Alaska's got some real hardcore shit to it. You know, a lot of people run away to Alaska. You know, I've met murderers who are on the run from like California at fish camps and shit. And they're all hiding out there. I mean, we have one of the highest rapes, like amount of rapes in the country. In fact, might even be the highest. I mean, it's a
In Alaska,
real
dog?
crazy place. Like it's 24-hour daylight during the summer and then 24-hour night during the winter.
How is that, bro?
Dude, that's gotta fuck
It
with
breeds
people.
crazy people, bro. Like,
Yeah, because
Psychologically, it really does.
like I don't know if you're like a big time drinker or anything. I used to like to party. I was never that type of drinker, right? But like I liked to get loose when I was younger, and I could not party unless it was at night, bro. So then I imagine shit like that, and I'm
Imagine
like,
that,
bro,
yeah.
am I just fucking partying all fucking
You'll never
every day?
party in the summer.
6 fucking months of just partying, dog, or what? But how was that shit? Like, is it pitch black like that?
It's not pitch black. So if you go, it's basically, it depends on how far north you go
Right.
in Alaska. So if you're north, like up
Yeah.
on the north slope, it's like pitch black for a couple of months.
No
But
shit.
down in Anchorage, I mean, like it's like the sun might come out at like 11 and be down by like 2.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah,
but
so-
is it like a good?
And it's not a lot
No,
of sun.
Okay.
It's like twilight.
it's like in the horizon type.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
you
like-
you had to look.
okay.
I've seen time lapses of summers and winters in Alaska. Dude, it's fucking nuts. Like during summer, the sun just goes like this, bro. It just does fucking figure 8, and it's always out.
Yep.
Like always out.
Oh shit.
And it's actually a trip because you'd say, like, oh, it needs to be dark to party. But the problem is, like, you party too much up there. So the winter comes, it's cold as shit. You know, it's like below 0 all the time. You know, and I didn't have no nice jobs at the time. You know, I worked outside work. You do 18 hours, logging, cannery work, shoveling snow.
What were you doing?
All that.
Oh, that, okay.
All the above.
I would live in hostels. I've lived in a camper one time for a winter. It got so cold one time in that camper. This other guy was actually sharing the camper with me. He got tired of my drinking and drug use, so he left. Well, he was the responsible one. He would actually put fire in this little wood stove. And when I was drinking too much, I fell asleep. It got so cold, it was like -20. I woke up and my back was locked up. I couldn't move for 3 hours.
Like you were just
Terrified. I
fucking
just
frozen.
couldn't move. I thought I was gonna die.
So how do you avoid fucking like being frostbitten and shit?
I
dog?
mean, you know,
Layer up.
It's a lot of luck.
I mean, yeah, well, no, even if you layer up, like sometimes that shit goes through,
100%.
right? Like,
You know,
it just
well, I mean, it's
fucking-
just about, you know, your time in there, and you become kind of used to it.
Do you?
You know, it's different. If like we were to move somebody just from here right now and just put them up there, and you're like, oh, it's -20, you know, deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, then yeah, they could potentially, you know, die from exposure of being outside too long. But it's like, you know, it's like.
So all those times, like at night, right? Like you were just fucking. How was it though? Like, how'd your brain react to that kind of shit, bro? Or is it kind of like a day-to-day thing, like it is like
It's
here?
a day-to-day thing, man, and it's like
I don't
also
know. I couldn't picture it. That's why.
it's different, right? So like we prioritize shelter in Alaska. Like even if you're a city boy, like in Anchorage, right?
Yeah.
You know that's the big city in Alaska.
Yeah, for sure.
Even there, like you realize that the weather can kill you. So it's not like let's say you were a homeless guy down here or something, right? You're like, oh, I could probably just sleep outside and I'll survive. It's not like that up there. Like your number one priority in the winter is to have somewhere to sleep. If it's you know, we have hostels. You know, I would stay to live in, you know, pay like, God, it was like $20 a night.
So there's no homelessness over there, bro.
There is homelessness. And
Where do these motherfuckers sleep then?
There is. And unfortunately, you get a lot of these native cats. And so, you know, like how down here, like let's say maybe they'll arrest somebody. You can legitimately go to jail.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but up there they had this sleep-off tank. So, like, I would see, let's say, some native lady pass on the ground. It's below 20 outside. And I would just call them. I'm like, hey, dude, you know, this lady's probably going to die. And they'll just come by. They'll scoop her up. They take her to the drunk tank. And she just gets out in the morning.
So just somewhere to sleep, somewhere warm.
Yeah, they just take them
So
and lock them up for the night.
Okay, but they don't charge them for anything, right? Like kind of like
No, they wouldn't get no
here.
money out of them anyway.
Yeah, so they just fucking okay. That's fucking.
That's good that they do that, but that's
It's
like
a trip.
I always
of a
said if
place,
I was
dude.
homeless, bro, I'd like to be in like Hawaii,
why
That'd
right?
be nice. Yeah.
Like
sleep on the beach.
Yeah, like I was always like, dude, if I was ever homeless, I'd get enough money to one-way trip to Hawaii, bro, and I just figure it out there, dog.
I will say the benefits though of Alaska, like over being, you know, raised down here in the lower 48, was work ethic. I mean, my first cannery job, I was 19 years old. It was 16-hour days, no days off, 45 days straight. And yeah, and so you don't miss a day. You know, you're staying here at the camp, then they don't pay you until the end.
So you have to stay.
Yeah, you stay.
They do that shit on
You're in the
purpose
middle of
so you
fucking
don't leave.
nowhere. You know, so it was like, and don't get me wrong, I would still party with these cats because we would get these like girls from like Poland and Russia, and like they all come over to the fish camp. So everybody's messing around. So like you'll get 16 hours, and had you just went to sleep, you'd have a good shift, but you wouldn't. You know, you'd go down to the beach and party, you know, somehow you get some alcohol, and, you know, then maybe you'd get 2 hours of sleep, and then it'd be like 16 hours again. You know, you don't learn that kind of work ethic.
How'd you get through that shit?
You just do it.
You just
You'd be
fucking-
surprised what you can do.
Well, yeah, for sure.
well,
Once you push your fucking
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Once you have no
yeah.
other option, too, it's like this is it. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Because that's how, like, when you're a kid, right? Like, you're fucking pull these fucking benders and shit, like 3-day benders, just partying and shit. It's like, you
think
really
about it
don't
now.
get sleep.
Yeah.
You might fucking take a little nap, and then I don't know, or you're just back fucking with the boys, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Damn, dog. I don't know if I'd be able to do, especially in that type of weather.
You would though. You know what I mean? You would if you just get used to it.
You,
know,
you
that's
have
all it
to.
is, man.
It's either that or you die.
So, and then you were there through like your high school, middle school, and all that
So
shit?
off and on, my family kind of had a wheel on its ass. I mean, to be completely honest with you, my mom was a fucking mess, man. I don't really talk to her much anymore. Never met my real dad. And my mom was the type, dude. Like, she would get with some Marine asshole from the bar, right? We'd move into his trailer, you know, like, and like, you know, like she'd get bored with somebody. Now we're in Florida all of a sudden, you know, and like we're living in a trailer with this abusive drunk Marine guy, right? And like that would go on for like 6 months, and then finally, like literally, my mom would load up the Nova with like some of his shit and the kids at the middle of the night, and all of a sudden now we live in Tennessee.
Damn. So you're just everywhere.
So I
But
lived all over the
so
place.
were you in the States and then back in Alaska
Yeah.
and then in the States
well, because
again
I
and
have
then
family
back?
kind of scattered all across the
Gotcha.
country. So like you know how it is. Like she'd like, oh, we'll go stay with Grandma Jean over here in Texas. For a little bit. And then we just moved back around and around, which was cool, man. I actually lived in like campgrounds at times, and like we lived in like the back of station wagons, and it had hard times to it, but it was also kind of interesting to live that way. As a kid.
It's definitely an experience to go through.
Yeah, with the campgrounds, I bet you was fucking fun though.
Something.
Well, like
you run into some real sketchy individuals.
I was about to
with
say
some
you probably see some crazy shit. Kind of like you said, like you probably met some fucking dudes that are probably wanted and shit.
Dude,
dog.
oh my god, man. They say that there's like a small chance that you probably encountered like serial killers.
Like,
and you're
you
I'm
probably
saying with all
encountered-
the places I've lived, I probably
You
encountered quite a
definitely
few.
have.
You out of everybody probably encountered more than one, bro.
Yeah, probably.
So
He's on the high end of the average.
did you fucking ever, like you mentioned you met people in Alaska that were like
Wanted?
Yeah, they were wanted for like murder in California and shit. Did you ever fucking actually meet somebody and he was like, yeah, bro, they want me in the States, bro, so I'm just here fucking fishing and fucking living in this fucking trailer.
Look, I'm blessed or not blessed, you can call it what it is, right? I was a smaller kid growing up, but raised in some real rough areas and all that, but I've always been like pretty good at gabbing. Right? And for whatever reason, dude, I don't get it, man. I did a little prison time, I did some stuff, but the hardest, nastiest motherfuckers on the planet, for some reason, will tell me.
They like to open up to
They'll
you.
just open up to me, man. I don't know how. I don't try to think too deep into it because I'm like, oh, it's a cool skill to have, I guess. But,
He has the same skill.
We'd be good fucking detectives, bro.
Undercover.
We'd be good fucking undercovers, dog.
Because these cats, man, like it was like when I was at the cannery, as a good example.
Yeah.
This guy, I can't even remember his name to tell you, although I wouldn't share it on here, of course.
Yeah.
But he was this massive dude, riddled on steroids and all that. But for whatever reason, he made friends with me, right? He was kind of an older guy at the fish camp, didn't really talk to a lot of people, but I started chopping it up with him, wore him down, and eventually, like, he was talking to me. He was like, yeah, I used to be a pimp. So then he started giving me advice on pimping, right? He was telling
What
me this guy in
advice was it, bro?
California-
Just curious.
Keep the pimp hand
He was
strong.
telling me things like, and dude, I'm a 19-year-old kid, right? I'm like, oh, this is so interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
Bro,
And
I'm
he's
in my
like-
30s and I find it
He's like, and
interesting,
you
bro.
can't be friends with him, dog. And he's like, and you can't, and you gotta control the money. And I'm just eating this shit up. I never planned on being a pimp, but I thought it was like a very interesting thing. And then I finally one night I got some whiskey, right?
Yeah.
And I'm asking, like, what are you doing up here, man? He's like, well, like I fucking killed somebody, and it was because of the whole pimping thing. I think he owed somebody some money. They came to collect. He defended himself or whatever, but it doesn't matter. You're in Cali. He's already doing illegal shit anyway. He's got a stolen gun. So he basically just hopped a plane up to Alaska, and he'd been living up there, I think, for like 2 years, just going fish camp to fish camp. And just,
So what do you do in those fish camps? You just
So
fucking
check it
kick
out. So
or what?
basically, they're called canneries, but we don't really can anymore in Alaska. Not very much, anyway. Now,
What is that, if you don't mind me
So,
asking, bro? I don't know
basically,
what
what
that
they
means.
used to do back in the day is you would have cans, like legitimate,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
tuna
yeah.
cans and stuff
Yeah,
like
so
that.
canning tuna?
So basically, during certain seasons, you've got salmon, you've got halibut, you've got cod, all that.
Correct.
They fill a fish camp with workers, and then they bring in all the fish, and then it's processed through, and then put into cans, and then shipped out across the world, right?
Okay.
So that's what
All
it is.
right.
Now, what we basically do is like it's vacuum sealed into boxes and stuff.
Okay.
And you just sort it into boxes, but it's still something that has to be done.
Yeah, so it's a fucking job then.
Yeah.
It's a
And
fucking,
it's the whole thing is too is it has to be done quick, right? Like these seasons come and go. I mean, you'll have herring season. It's followed right by salmon season. Maybe there's a break after that. Then it's halibut season, crab season.
Yeah.
So these things they just want them in and out. So that's hence the 16-hour days. You've got people working around the clock. So my day might be 16 hours. Somebody else is starting halfway through my shift and then covering that dead time.
So there's always somebody there.
There's
so it's like 24 hours.
24 hours while the season's
It's
going.
stuff just rolling in that
Yeah,
they keep
all
bringing.
the boats are bringing in the fish.
And then as they come in, you guys process. They bring more, process that.
Yeah, and there's better jobs in those fish canneries.
I was
I'll tell
about
you.
to ask
Some
you.
of them are cool. I never made it. Like the reason they bring in like a lot of the ladies from Poland and Colombia and all that other stuff is they get to work in the egg house, which is the chill ass job where
So
basically
who brings those women?
so basically you just
pimp.
find the jobs.
Well, that pimp brought them.
yeah, obviously.
like, he brought all his house.
He brought all of them, yes.
You brought all of them.
He kept all their money.
He's like, go ahead, boys.
This one's on the house.
I'll wait the 45 days until I get paid.
No, so it's like, so they actually have, it's pretty messed up how they do the women. So basically they lie to these girls and some men too. I met a bunch of really cool dudes too from Poland and stuff, but they come into these like job brokers who are like, oh, you're gonna make so much money in America. Okay. But what happens is like half the time they barely break even because the job broker charges them all this money, and then of course they got to get the flight, the passport, all this other stuff. A ton of them were my friends. Told me that, like, dude, I might have made $200 at the end of the season to take back home.
Damn.
After the thousands of dollars.
But I think the dream of, hey, you're going to the U.S.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what sells them, right?
A lot of people would just overstay, not go back.
Don't you?
You know what? Not as much with. It's just because I think it's harder to do that than you think, especially in a small place like Alaska. You know, for all how big it is. You know, there's only a population, I think, like 700,000. And most of that's concentrated in the city.
And not all of Alaska is habitable either, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, you can't just, run off in the woods. You know, it's like a real dangerous spot. So I think most of them actually wind up going back.
So can't leave? You can't, like, catch a flight from there and fucking come to the States? Is it that hard?
I think you need
you
need
catch a
ID
flight.
and shit.
I mean, at that point, if I was just coming from a fucking different country, dog, I think I'd just do that. If I wasn't breaking even, but I guess at that time you don't really have the knowledge.
Well,
right,
because then you put yourself in this like defunct status though, to where like let's say like they do find you and now you're going to be deported.
Yeah, you're fucking.
And now you're not
deported.
allowed to come back to the United States.
True.
You know, whereas like if you just come and do your work visa and go home, like I learned this lesson, because there are some that do make the money, right? Like it's just they don't make it on that first fish camp like they were promised.
Okay, so then they get the experience. They're like, all right, I don't want to do this. I'll do this time.
Yeah, 100%. And you start to learn things like, dude, there's so many cool jobs in Alaska. I would go to, I don't remember if this is exactly what it was called, but it was like alaskajobs.gov. And this is how I would just wind up all across the state. I put it in one time. I took a job as a cook or a dishwasher at a logging camp. And they flew me out to the logging camp. You had to go to Kodiak and then go to a small island called Afognak. Nothing there, dude. It was awesome. It was something, I'm telling you, dude. It was like just a whole different thing. And basically they flew you out there. I did that for a month. And then I was like, hey, I want to be a logger. So, I just kept talking to them. And then they let me be a logger, which turned out to be the beginning of the end for me. I wound up putting a chainsaw on my foot. Brought back some alcohol. Some guy died. Lost that job. Yeah, it got pretty heavy.
But it was cool in the beginning.
It was so dope.
Yeah.
Like,
what was so dope about it,
dude,
bro?
So so there was only a handful of young guys there. Most of them were old, but like I immediately found the young guys. We would go down to the beach. I mean, you could do anything you want. You shoot a seal in the face. I mean, there's nobody out there. There's nobody out there.
You can box with them.
There's nobody out there to tell you anything, brother. Like,
so there's no laws and shit, or what?
There's nobody to enforce them.
There's nobody there, so
there's like
one.
There's one cop, and that motherfucker's fucking
drunk.
He's probably drunk.
No, if something happens, dude, like they literally have to fly in a state trooper.
Oh, so they're not wasting that money.
No, there's just no cop out there. You're just on an island.
Yeah, so you could shoot a seal
in the face.
I mean, it's a true story, so it happened.
Did you ever do it?
He watched it happen.
I shot some things. I watched that happen.
Yeah. He's not gonna say it up here.
I watched the chick shoot a bald eagle.
No.
Oh, hell
I
no.
mean, to be fair with you, dude, like pigeons out there. I mean, they're just
Dude,
all
there's
over.
that many?
That's
fucking nuts, bro.
We did this thing one time. It was around 4th of July. Everybody got all drunk. Hopped on a little boat. And we had a big dip net. So a dip net's a big old net. You can catch salmon that way when they're coming up in the season. Yeah. And there was this massive like rock formation that had millions of seagulls. So we're wasted drunk. So like we're getting on the front of the boat and then driving the boat and seeing who could get the most seagulls in the dip net.
No.
Because there's millions of them.
That sounds like some fucking fun shit though.
It's just redneckery, dude. Like
I love it.
Believe, dude, like, and that was what was fun about it. It was just like I caught a baby fox Yeah, I kept him in my bunk for like a couple weeks till the camp manager found out. He said, "Hey, that's illegal."
He's like, "Hey, bro, this shit's about to give you rabies."
He's like,
bro.
"Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that-
can't
she's
have
like, it's
that."
a dog. It's not a.
Yeah, but the coolest part about, like, even with that, there was a family of foxes. So we had to get up early, right? It's a long day.
Yeah.
So what you do is there's this family of little foxes in the camp, and you come out with bacon and shit. And you kind of kneel down, and they climb up with their little fox feet on your knee, and you just feed them the bacon. So I let little Todd, that's what I named him.
Todd.
Yeah, of course. And I let him go with him, and they accepted him, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, yeah.
That's fucking dope, bro. Hey, so that girl shot a fucking ball.
The buzz. He said, "Let's get
Bro,
back
I
to the
fucking-
let's get back to the felony real quick."
Every time I see a bald eagle, bro, I fucking stop and I'm all zooming in on my iPhone 8, bro. Fucking
Every
trying
time
to
he sees
get
the
it.
bald eagle, he's like,
like a fucking like I'm a fucking army veteran or some shit, bro.
Brother, she capped it with a 45-70. Blew that eagle. in
Blew
half,
that
dude.
fucking
Just
shit.
blew that.
You just see the feathers.
Those are $7 bullets. She blew that eagle apart, dude.
Dude, it's nuts because like I'll have like conversations with my friends, right? And I'll be like, "Oh, dude, if you touch one of those, bro, though, you're going to jail for life." Cause it's so fucking like
they're very protected.
yeah.
Yeah, oh,
and then
100%,
this fucking guy over here telling me his
Someone shot
homegirl
him.
fucking just blasted.
It's like, first of all, good shot.
Yeah, no, she was incredible. A better
Like it
fisherman.
was
a
flying
better-
though.
Yeah.
Was it flying when
No,
she
it was
got
on
it,
a-
or
it
was
on a
it?
limb. I'm telling you, we're just out fishing. I'm not a very good fisherman. She's out here just fucking. I'm talking looks like, some kind of amazing. I just feel emasculated. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just catching steelheads and dollies, just one after the other, and I'm like, fucking just snagged on a root, And fucking, I see it, and it was me, her, and Brad. He was the maintenance guy, and I see a bald eagle on a limb. I said, "I bet you won't shoot that bald eagle." And she
So it was
just
your
grabbed
idea.
his 45-70 and fucking blasted the eagle right off the thing. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Went on about her day
I didn't
fishing.
think she was gonna do it. That's just how it was. You know what I mean? Like whether or not you're okay with shooting bald eagles or seals, it was just you could just do whatever you wanted. Man. It was like and it was a beautiful, magical place.
Like it was actually like pretty and shit. It was dope.
Dude, I mean, it was just it was like a damn Disney movie. Like
No
you just
shit.
walk. I just walk off like by myself. Of course, you bring a gun because there's grizzly bears. And
Yeah, I was about to say.
But it was like, you make yourself known, but literally you could go 100 feet from the camp, man. It's like you're in like some other world. They had these tiny deer that were native to it. So sometimes you'd be chilling, you see this tiny little deer just creep out of nowhere. You see a bear up on the ridge. It's like there's seals,
Donnie,
there's
you're probably like,
otters. Oh yeah, you're making noise.
He's like,
Yeah.
cook 'em, guys.
Look at that beautiful bear.
Bam.
Hey, you see Donnie with the fucking fruit.
Went to the pimp guy. Hey, is this a good suit?
He has the helmet. He's like, I'm never getting frostbitten.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, you can't eat those fuckers,
You can.
You can eat
The
bear.
bears?
Yeah,
Or-
you
or
can.
is it
It's
the,
greasy. It's not delicious. Yeah, but
the polar bear is the one that you can't
I don't
eat.
know. I never eaten a polar bear. I assume you could.
I thought they had too much like zinc or some shit in their meat.
I don't know.
Something to that extent I read. Maybe fucking.
It could just be
Maybe-
too because
Maybe you
they're
can
the
snack
internet lied
on
to
them.
me, bro.
Maybe you can snack on them. Maybe
Well, I know
another
they're
full meal.
primarily carnivorous, right? Whereas like brown bears and black bears are like what's that mixture? Is it herbivore? What? Omnivore. Where they eat both. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's like when you eat like a pure carnivore, that meat's not gonna be as tasty.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's fucking nuts. So when you were out fishing, bro, did you see like when you're on the boat? Did you see some fucking crazy shit out there? You know
what,
like,
man?
I see fucking people on boats, and there's like, oh, I seen fucking the megalodon and shit like that.
I never
Did you ever
saw
see
nothing
some
like
crazy
that.
shit like that?
Probably one of the coolest things that happened out there, though, is with Brad, the maintenance guy, and it was the Kodiak Derby for salmon. Right, so what they do is basically in the Derby, you're trying to get the biggest salmon, you get a cash prize, and he was like 10 G's or something, right?
God damn.
So like I said, I'm not a very good fisherman. It's like I'm just
What
with
makes
him,
a good
I'm
fisherman,
drinking,
Donnie?
right?
Practice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, but what made you not be a good one, bro? Because you're living out there.
I just never had the patience for it, man.
Yeah,
it was
bro.
like, and plus, like, I was too busy, like, drinking everything in, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I was just always the tag along, It's like,
Yeah.
I had a ton of experiences, right? But I didn't have that experience in life where, like, I actually was steady into something. right, when I was young, because I moved around so much. So it was almost like that tiny jack of all trades, like a ton of experiences.
Master of none.
And master of nothing.
Yeah. Are you a very like antsy person though?
I used to be.
Because I'm like that too, bro. I'll pick up on shit and I'll start trying to get like kind of get good at it, and then I'm like I get bored of it. And then I'm like, oh, let me try.
I'm surprised we've lasted this long with the podcast.
Yeah, this guy's like, bro, you have the attention span of a mouse, bro. Because I'm always like, you know.
Now I've worked on it. You know, after I spent, like I told you, I spent 4 years in rehab, and man, you get your shit together. You know, when you're in a place like that. And when I got out, like now I can get more settled into something. Like hence jiu-jitsu, I picked that up right after rehab. I've stuck with it.
How'd you get into jiu-jitsu?
Hold on. I want you to finish your. Did you ever see any crazy shit?
Oh yeah, so no, I didn't see.
He said he did it.
Hold on, let me tell you.
No, but on the boat, did you like?
I saw whales and stuff. That was pretty cool. But the biggest fish was my boy Brad. Like I said, a good fisherman. Yeah. He got second in the Kodiak. It was second or third. Again, this was many years ago. But he won a cash prize. Basically, we're out trolling. So trolling is where you set the deal up at the end of the boat, and then you just drive, right? So I was not getting nothing on my hook. I had no idea. And then he got hit with a good one. We were only in like a small boat, man. This thing, when you see a fish out of water, you see it in the pictures from the fishermen, and they're holding something like this, right? Yeah. And you're like, oh, it just doesn't feel that big. But when you're trying to help somebody get something like that on the boat, dude, it's like a mermaid or something.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, this thing, like, wait, this. You're trying to get this 80-pound fish, and then there's that part where I've been drinking, right? It's like, dude, we're in the middle of an ocean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this thing is huge, and we're trying to get. I'm like, what if the boat tips?
The boat's rocking.
And the boat is, and he doesn't care. Those guys who are old heads at this, they're just walking around in a rowboat. It's, rocking everywhere. I'm like, what are you doing?
So how big was that?
It wound up being like, I'd say about probably yay big and like 65, 70 pounds.
God,
something like that. It was a massive king salmon, and I might have those dimensions wrong. I just remember it being very big, and he won second or third. So,
a large dog, not a salmon.
It's like a dolphin, brother. When you get that thing on the boat,
when you have a fucking fish that big, can you eat it? Because like out here, like when you go on these lakes, the bigger the fish, like. I heard the meat is not as good, right?
So it's not as good. If you get them in the ocean, they're great. Like, so this king, it still hadn't started changing color. Basically, once the salmon start hitting the rivers, they start changing color to like a pink. Yeah. And that's they're getting ready to die. Basically, they're utilizing the last of their fuel and their energy to get up there and then spawn and die.
Yeah.
So those you don't really want to eat those.
Gotcha.
But when they're still in the ocean, I mean, some of the big fish still taste good. They're fine.
Did you get tired of fucking eating? Like just fucking
seafood,
yeah.
But then you leave and you miss it.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, I think about it, And
I would eat fresh salmon all the time.
Yeah,
even when
that
poor. Even when you're poor, everybody's got a freezer full.
Like the fucking protein so high.
Oh my God.
Were you all shredded, bro? Because fucking that's all protein.
I was not shredded.
Like, no, not even a little.
Like, bro, I was drinking.
I didn't work out or anything until literally like rehab basically.
A bunch of those jobs are very physically taxing.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. See, it's so funny, dude. These guys, everybody wants to make jokes on the team that the only reason I'm strong is because I was a meth head and I would rip copper out of buildings. So
That's fucked up.
That's what they always fucking say.
He's like, it takes some strength to pull.
Yeah. Shout out Byron. Yeah. Always saying that shit, man. But it was just years of doing I'm talking manual labor.
Yeah.
Running chainsaws, fish, construction.
Dude, that stuff builds some backbone.
And then your hands get all fucking like hard and shit, bro. Like these construction workers, when you shake their hand, you're like, what the fuck?
It's like you're holding a fucking lunchbox.
Like a piece of wood, bro. Like like a 2x4, and I'm like, God damn, I wasn't made for that shit.
My old boss was a framer, and dude, I swear he grabbed my hands the way I grabbed my 4-year-old hands.
That's
and you're like, what the hell?
And I'm like,
dog,
God,
that's
damn.
fucking nuts. So going to his question, when did you get into jiu-jitsu and why?
So when I got out of the 4-year rehab program, shout out to Lancy Street, saved my life.
Where were they located at?
In just north of Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
In a town called Espanola.
Okay, shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to Lancy, man, and saved so many people's lives. I mean, I would not be here. I wouldn't be sitting here, having this conversation with you guys or doing any other things in my life.
So obviously you picked up jiu-jitsu after you were after rehab, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if we could kind of go backwards a little bit. when did you like become picked up drugs and shit?
So
and
it's
what
a
drug?
It's a kind of a complicated because all of them. You know,
He's like, what you got?
It's kind of like a bit of a complex deal because, well, I said, some of the things were really cool about being raised the way I was, but some of them not so much. You know, when you're raised in some really rough areas, I mean, I like to make a joke. I was raised in every trailer park from Alaska to Alabama, right? You know, like, and, when you're in those kind of environments, drugs, family abuse, I'm talking all these things become the norm.
Yeah.
Everybody's drinking. To give you some context, man, my first case of alcohol poisoning, I was literally 11 years old. I was in Alaska hanging out with my native friends because my mom was with some native cat at the time, right? So I was Por Vida, with them. Yeah.
Dude, those natives fucking like to drink.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah,
like to
100%,
drink.
man.
Yeah.
And I wound up heading over to this house. We're drinking Ron Rico rum. Cheap ass shit. And I probably weighed 95 pounds at the time. And this guy actually went to prison that night, tried to kill me, tried to cut my throat with a wine glass, made me eat a bunch of pills. And basically, I probably chugged about a half gallon of Ron Rico at 95 pounds, 11 years old. Woke up on the front yard with the police opening. I was basically blue in the face in a puddle of vomit with my head half shaved. It was a fucked up night, bro. And they told me had they been any later, I would have suffocated, basically. Took me to the hospital. I wake up in the hospital, man, this is so funny. I wake up in the hospital and I immediately think, I gotta go. So I'm 11 years old with an IV stuck because they had pumped my stomach and everything, right? And I take off running down the hall with this little IV bag, and the nurses come like, "Where are you going?" And they grab me and shit, make me go back to the bed. My initial thing when I woke up in a strange place was to run. So I just take off out the hospital, dude.
But you were already willingly fucking drinking.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I always tell that story too. Is just like a thing to just like kind of set the tone to let you know what a dumpster fire, right? The life was. But like with these cool things in it, it wasn't all just this awful stuff. But like I just started drinking at a very young age. I started
like your
doing
buddies or fucking.
You know what?
Your
I saw it at home.
The
I saw it
environment.
at home all the time. I saw the stuff, and like I would see that people would basically equate like the drinking with an escape. Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't really work that way, but it was like I would be in pain, right? Because, we're poor, I'm hungry, there's all this abuse going on and it's very confusing, and I had even been, molested as a kid, there was all this stuff that's one of the downsides of being in those really crazy fucked up places, and I didn't have any supervision. And so like I would find like if I started drinking or if I ate some pills, right, like I'd feel great. Right, and I would feel confident, and I would feel happy for a period of time.
For a couple hours.
Yeah.
So was the first drug like you were popping pills in?
It was. I'd say probably. I think it was pills. My dad.
Like some Xannies, some fucking Vicodin.
It was pain pills.
Pain pills.
Pain pills.
Okay.
Yeah, pain pills were what got me. Probably at 12.
Okay.
I down in Alabama. Never met my real dad, but I was with this guy. Great dude. I call him dad. Army veteran. The only problem is my mom wouldn't stay with him because she'd get bored, start cheating on him, and then run off. Right. Yeah. So basically, but anytime I was with him, it was like I had stability. It was like cool, man. Like he was a real. And shout out John. Love that man.
You still
Harris.
stay in contact with them?
Yeah. Oh, all the time. I go down there.
Shout out John, man.
Shout out John.
Shout out John.
For picking up 2 kids, 3 kids from some crazy bitch and raising them, like they were, his own, man. I go down there Thanksgiving, Christmas, every time.
Awesome. That's
he's my
fucking
dad.
dope.
He's
That's
my dad.
great,
dope, man.
And but of course, unfortunately, I was so damaged. Even when he had me, I'm still running amok. It's just at least it just made sense. His discipline and shit.
Right.
But basically, I'm with him, and he's a tough guy, right? The guy's half metal. He's been in some car accidents and shit. A military vet, steel worker, all that other stuff. And basically, he would not take his pain pills. And, this is on him. He probably shouldn't have just kept them all in some easily accessible,
keep them out of reach.
Yeah, so there's hundreds of Vicodin, and I'm like, and I didn't even know what a Vicodin was. Basically, it was because my best friend Justin's lesbian sister, who was like in her 20s, one time she was just asking, she was like, "John, got any pills down there?"
Oh,
and
so
I was like,
she knew.
yeah, because they were older. They were little
Right.
druggies and shit. And I was like, I don't know, like, what kind of stuff? And I went and checked. And I was like, oh, he's got Vicodin. She's like, oh, those are good. So I grabbed me some of those. So, of course, I'm like, oh, they're good to her. So me and Justin were like,
So see what the
So
fuss is about.
do you remember what it made you feel?
oh, like nothing, dude. Opioids, If I could do opioids, bro, and not be strung out and not ruin my life, I would do them every single day. I mean, there's a reason people get strung out.
Because, there's different, right? You either like the uppers or the fucking...
I like both, though.
Oh, okay.
And I like both together.
Because I've said it multiple times on the pod. Like, I've always had, like, fucking, like, teeth problems, right? And I always get Vicodin, bro. And I'm like, I think I've tried it once or twice, and I didn't like how that shit made me feel, bro.
No,
like, I felt
does.
like I was, like, on a cloud.
Nope.
But I didn't like that feeling, bro. Like, is that what it gave you? Like, that type
it just
of feeling?
made me... For some reason, it just made me numb, which was nice. As somebody who was, dude, severe social anxiety.
But it didn't make you sleepy and shit?
No, it would just make me numb. It would make me feel good. It would make me feel confident. It would just make me feel... I would feel up. It would never make me sleepy.
Just hits people different.
Yeah, because I met one person in my life, bro, they would pop fucking Vicodins, but they were like up. And I'm like, dude, that shit puts me
like,
fucking...
I'd be taking it out.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, that shit, when I took it, I was just like woozy, bro.
I wish it would have done that to me. Maybe.
After some dental work, same thing. They gave me pain pills. I took one. And I swear to God, I felt like I was drunk.
Dude, and then you sleep so good, right? But I didn't like that feeling of like I don't know.
You get up and everything's spinning and shit. I'm like,
it's
nope.
so slow. Like I didn't like that shit. So that's why I was like never into that kind of shit. But like people like you, like you're like, dude, I fucking made
feel
me
great.
feel like this. I'm like, how come it didn't make me feel like that? Probably fucking.
You're like,
it's
I
probably
want that
it's a good
feeling.
thing, bro. Because I probably would have been struggling out myself.
Brother, it's just like like at that point, like when you're raised in those kind of environments, I know people that were doing that, they can certainly relate to it. It's just any kind of escape.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I would huff air duster. I've done, the whole gold spray paint. Where you do that.
You put it in the bag and then fucking...
yeah, man. I've done.
What's that high like, bro?
Dude, not
Sorry,
great.
I got so many fucking questions
it's not
about it.
Great, brother. It was not my favorite.
So what did it make you like? What did it do?
And then you'd feel sick, and you're like, oh.
So what was the reason you did it?
Just to
then?
be different.
Just so you don't have to be where you're at.
That's
Just so
the
you
kind of
don't
shit I'm
have to
talking
be
about. Like
you,
I don't know. Like that's fucking crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I get it. Like it's a disease. I guess you could call it. Like it's an addiction. But
when your environment's so fucked up.
Yeah, 100%. It's just the way you gravitate to it. And don't get me wrong, man. I wish I was one of them strong kids, that would have, come out the ghetto and like not gone that path. But unfortunately, I was just one of many. Another statistic. That just carries on doing exactly what their environment does.
Yeah, you weren't that odd one out that just bakes it out the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. It took me till 31.
Well, yeah. Now you look great now, bro. So hell yeah.
We made it. It was just a little later than some.
Yeah, was it? Yeah. So you had mentioned you banged it too. You banged fucking.
Oh
drugs?
yeah. So this. So basically, as you can imagine, things progress.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't get better before it gets.
Yeah.
Not for the best, but it progressed.
Things progress, brother. So.
It's like they do get worse before they get better.
Yeah. So, it's basically, as I entered in that lifestyle, so I wouldn't hang out with normal kids, right? So that means I'm going to be introduced to harder and harder things. And even when we would move, I would try, for maybe a week to try, a different style, be like a different person, and then inevitably, my confidence would give out on that, and I'd be like, all right, where's the hood rats at?
Let me go where I'm comfortable.
Yeah, let me go where I'm comfortable, where I fit in. And, so, that would just progress and progress and progress. And basically, by the time I was, I'd say even 16, 17 was probably the first time I tried doing methamphetamines and I think even heroin my first time was at 17, 18. And but it wasn't right off the rip addict at that point.
Yeah.
Right? It was just something I just started dabbling in. I told myself, I'll never put a needle in my arm. Then at 17 years old, I put a needle in my arm.
Oh shit, you were that young.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is incredible. I had a kid at 17, Shout out Hayden, she's in college. My daughter, pay for her college now, I pay for her rent.
Hey, you did something right, bro.
I take good care of her, man. I take real good care of that.
How old are you, if you don't mind asking?
I'm 36.
36? Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'll be
we're
37 next month. Yeah. And so basically, as I progress through these drugs, I hit 17, I start dabbling meth and heroin. I'm selling drugs too, off and on all during this part. I had a year, it was a rough year, dude. 17 to 18 was my crack year. I got into crack. I'm telling you, it was a rough year, brother. I was selling coke basically, and then one time somebody asked me, can you get some crack? And I was like, yeah, probably. I asked the plug, JoJo.
You're like, I'll make that shit.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. I made it. I made it, and I was awful at making crack, bro.
They taught you the recipe.
I fucked the crack up.
Hey, bro,
It
there's
was
a
awful.
science behind
it was
that
still
shit.
slushy. It wasn't like a hard crack rock. And when I asked JoJo, I'm like, man, and I gave it to the guy, and he's like, this ain't crack, bro.
That's gum. That ain't crack.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't crack. And I'm like, fuck, dude. So I just asked JoJo. I was like, can you just sell me the crack? So I start selling crack, and then of course, like even with the coke, like I was snorting coke. I mean, I'm an awful drug dealer.
Yeah.
Because I just do all the profits. You know?
were more of a consumer,
Yeah, I
bro.
was just a consumer who would sell drugs to consume more drugs. You know what I mean? That was it. I was never some kingpin or anything, you know?
He never took the advice from Scarface. Never get
yeah,
high on your own
yeah,
Or that
supply.
pimp, yeah,
You
that
didn't give a
pimp.
fuck,
I should have listened to him. You know, he had such good money.
You're like
advice.
Scarface's wife. You know what I'm saying? She's just doing it.
Oh, dude.
And so I had that crack here. I started selling that because I started smoking. I was like, wow, this is incredible. That is an awful drug. Don't ever try crack.
Don't do drugs,
Don't
guys.
fucking do crack. Don't you fucking do it, man.
Don't do crack, or don't listen to Charlie Sheen talk about crack.
Oh boy,
He'll
but
make
I
you
got
wanna do
off
it.
of that.
So all bullshit aside, why do you say do not do crack?
Well, because dude,
Obviously, it's a drug. I
I'm
get
not
it.
saying meth and heroin, they're bad, right?
Yeah.
But
I heard crack is
something else,
addicting.
because like it was like I would go like let's say we were gonna do some meth right now, right?
Yeah.
We get $100 worth of meth. We're gonna be high all night into the morning. Right,
Okay.
because we don't do it right, like
Yeah.
consistently or anything, right? But if we got $100 worth of crack right now, in 15 minutes, you're gonna be saying, Donald, let's get $100 more worth of crack.
God damn.
It's like,
It's like that.
if we go pawn that TV,
That's
we
what's
can,
gonna happen. I would have guys hitting me up at like 4 in the morning, like, dude, I got a brand new drill set. Just let me get a run. I'm talking, dude, like it
So
was.
there's a benefit to being a crack dealer.
100%. I had so many tools.
return
and TVs.
customer
Yeah, like,
out the ass.
oh, I had some incredible stuff. But it's also, dude, you get to feeling bad. Like there was this guy Heath, right? And this is one of those things that really got me like kind of stopped. Even though I was like a monster at the time, I always felt like I had a little bit of empathy.
Yeah.
I think that's what
little
carried
bit
me
of
a little bit. I tried, right? And this guy, he's the reason I even started selling crack. So he drove trucks for Coca-Cola, had some good money, had a ranch, had his 2 kids, right? And basically he would just do blow from time to time.
Yeah.
And then so he was the one who was like, hey, Don, well, can you just get me some crack? So he would only do it like twice a month, right?
Yeah.
The coke. But then I'm like, sure, I'll get you some crack, Heath. So I go and get him some crack. And then all of a sudden he goes from twice a month to twice a week to twice a day to 18 times a day to he doesn't have a ranch anymore. He doesn't have his daughters. He's not working for Coca-Cola. He's driving around town on a bike. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it
So
takes
bad.
you out so fast. Faster than meth, faster than heroin,
No
faster
shit.
than anything in my opinion.
So the crack high only lasts 15 minutes,
Dude,
bro?
it's not a long time. But it's like
No
that
shit.
hit, that initial hit, dude, it's like getting kicked in the face with a fucking orgasm.
Dude,
I mean,
there's
it's
this.
just like-
Look it up.
Anybody
There's
that fucking sells crack? No, I'm just playing.
this, look up the video of Charlie Sheen talking about doing crack.
Yeah, dude, it's something else, bro.
Any crack junkies out there? We need new fucking mic sets.
Oh, they'll get you new chairs, brother. You want a new rug?
We need cameras. I'll shout out the model number.
Set up the,
They'll
some
get you everything.
cannons.
God damn, so it's like that.
It's an
then, huh?
intense thing,
I
man.
thought meth was stronger than crack.
You know what? It's stronger, but it's longer lasting.
Gotcha.
You know what I
okay,
mean?
Yes.
It's like, like I could do a shot of meth right now and probably be high for 2 days. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
Like,
okay, so after the 2 days, would you be craving it again? Or is it one of those things that you're like, well, I've been high for a while, I'm good. Kind of like Coke. You know
No,
when
of
Coke,
course you're gonna
you do
crave
a
it.
bump and then you know when to call it off.
Not
you-
everybody knows when to call it off, brother.
That's a you thing.
I don't have an
just saying,
addictive
bro.
personality. That's
Yeah,
probably why,
I don't
you
know when to call it off.
Okay, that makes sense.
If I do something and it feels good, I'm like, wow, I should do this all the time.
He's like, in about 5 minutes, we should try that again.
You know,
It's like, hey, we're gonna take a break. We're taking a quick break.
We're gonna go pee, guys, real quick.
We come back all fucked.
searching around in the rug for fucking, trying to find fucking rocks, bro. I've been there.
Come on.
I tell you.
Come on.
He said, Dude,
Find the vein, Johnny.
you know what?
I'll find it.
I'll find it. He said,
You probably got good. So were you banging it like that? Though,
Oh, I got a collapse vein here from those times, and in the time, actually, your veins will disappear.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah.
I didn't have any veins anymore. Like I'd have to do push-ups and shit, homeless.
You're fucking over there, doing a hit workout, bro.
Just trying to fucking get a vein, dude.
Trying to get
pop in. I'm telling you, bro.
you're like, huh, that homeless guy's exercising. That's weird.
Yeah, good for him.
Why is that homeless guy doing fucking 100 pull-ups, bro?
What an inspiration.
He's all about his health.
You drive by, dog. You don't even know what's going on. You're like, hey, if that homeless guy can do it, you can do it.
That's right. You can get fit too.
You're telling your wife, look, you don't work out, but that guy's doing it.
I'm gonna tell my homies that are fat. I'm like, look at that homeless guy. Oh, wait, he's not fat. He found time to work out, bro. Hey, so obviously you didn't care. You probably weren't thinking of it, right? But when you're banging that shit, dog, like the first thing that comes to my head is like the dirty needle, bro, and the AIDS, because there's a lot of HIV out there, right? That never crossed your mind, bro?
After a while, you don't care.
No.
You know, I wound up, I did get Hep C because I would reuse needles, I would share needles. So let's advance to that. So basically, I have the crack here. I went up back in Alaska. I started getting really bad on meth and heroin. I'd say probably about like 22. And then that was the dark years. Basically, like 22 to 27 when I went into Delancey Street were the darkest years of my life. That's where shit wasn't fun anymore.
Okay.
That's when I really started ramping up the crime, breaking and enterings, boosting, which is what we call it, where you're running out of stores with like $500 drill sets.
I love boosters, bro.
All that shit. Yeah, well, I was your number one booster, bro. I was good. I would get lists from plugs. I would run in the store. I would get a grocery list. I would go into fucking Smith's with a grocery list. And I would just walk around nonchalant, fill up a pillowcase, and just fucking run out the fucking store.
And then just fucking
And
make
go
some
to the
money.
plug's house. They'd hook me up. I'd give them their fucking groceries.
You like boosters too. Don't act like you don't, bro.
I don't ask where it came
He
from.
had the same plug as I did, bro.
I don't ask where it came from. I just say how much.
Allegedly, right? Allegedly.
Yeah.
So, well,
$50 for that?
we're not
That's a
going to
great
incriminate ourselves here.
I don't know.
I don't know anything.
I don't know
He's
what
just
to
giving me a great deal.
I don't know where it came from. He said
He told me his wife didn't want it anymore.
He said he bought it at a yard sale, bro. He's just trying to remake money.
Now, dude, you know what? Let me tell you what turned me off as a I was probably 11. I had a cousin that I think he smoked weed back in the day, but he wasn't into heavy drugs. He loved playing video games. Older dude. He was probably 8-9 years older than me, and I was like 11. And he loved playing video games. I used to love video games. So I go visit him, and we get to his house. He shared a trailer with this guy, a mobile home, here in Colorado, in Commerce City. We get to his house, and his buddy's in the living room, and he's like, hey, we should go get some food. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go get some Taco Bell. So we drive out, tells his buddy, hey, you want something from Taco Bell? Nope. We leave, come back, and then we start eating. Then he's yelling for his buddy. His buddy's not answering. He probably went out. I'm like, can I use your restroom? Open the bathroom. The dude's literally with a needle just out like that.
So it must have been
And
some
I'm
heroin
like,
then.
hey, this dude's in the bathroom. And he goes in the bathroom. He's like, get out. We get out. Cops come. They take him with a blanket over his face.
Oh, he passed?
He passed away.
Oh, shit.
Happens a lot.
Dude died.
Happens a lot, man.
And I was like, and I was 11. I'm like, dude, what happened to him? He's like, he died. I'm like,
Yep.
from what?
fucking
He's like,
OD,
he
dog.
died. And
Happens,
dude,
man. I've OD'd a couple of times, and lucky for me, I don't know if my heart would agree, but I like speedballing.
What is that?
So my favorite thing, I didn't like to do heroin and just fucking, like a fent zombie.
Yeah.
You see those guys, that's not fun. Like, why would anybody enjoy doing that?
Yeah.
So what I would do,
Yeah.
I would throw
Tell us
meth.
how to do drugs, bro.
tell us the recipe.
Tell us how to do
Hold on a
drugs.
second. This is
Is that an endorsement, right?
this is not a fucking endorsement, okay? Like, sorry, all this drug talk got me salivating. I'm fucking.
He's like,
Give us a tutorial, bro.
So
Fucking step by
one.
step.
I mean, there's a reason I was strung out. This shit was awesome. Until it wasn't awesome. That's what keeps me clean, right?
So you didn't want to just
I would do meth and heroin together. So it would put you in this dude, I always call it like cloud 9. So basically, when you just do meth, I didn't really like how you'd be too, dude, those guys are crazy. They'll start tearing apart this TV and fucking, you can spend 8 hours just tattooing on yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just, it would give you this hyper focus and this hyper, but sometimes it'd be too much. Yeah. And then if you just did heroin, you just nod the fuck out, but if you did them both together, it was like this state of just perfection.
It was just like you said, cloud 9.
Yeah, where you're just like you're up, you're alert, but you're down at the same time, and
just felt good.
You just felt good.
You got the best of both worlds with that.
Yeah, it was like the best of both worlds. You could still hyper focus on stuff, but you didn't have to worry about falling asleep and getting your shit robbed.
Bro, what is it about? Because I seen this, I seen it in person, bro. What's it about, the heroin users that I seen this dude fill up a tub and he put his feet in there with cold ass water and then he'd bang it. Why do people do that shit?
That motherfucker was a weirdo, bro.
Okay.
He's like, people like what they like.
I don't know.
I thought it was a thing, bro.
I don't know what he was doing. Yeah,
this motherfucker.
I never in my life saw somebody do that.
Yeah, it was like my homeboy's homie. And went to his house, bro. And he was
maybe his feet got hot when he did that.
But this dude was he would always, every time he banged it, bro, that I seen him, he would put his feet in cold ass water.
I don't know why. Maybe
and he'd even put
he should have put me on the game. I wish I would have known.
Maybe he's more advanced than you.
Maybe he was onto something.
But no, dude, he'd fill up the
Never
tub.
too late for a relapse.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to hit up the fucking latch. Who was it?
Yeah, who's your boy?
Yeah, no, but he would put ice, bro, in the tub and then just fill it up just enough to cover his feet. And then he'd put it in there and then he'd bang it, bro. And I was like, what the fuck? Dude, that shit weirded me out, dog. I was just like, the whole needle was just, for me, was gross,
And it is gross, but it's one of those things you just get used to.
Yeah,
you just get used to.
Well, you do it enough times.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't even care if it's clean anymore.
Yeah.
You still have old crusty blood in there. You're like, just get that heroin in me. I don't.
You're just going.
Yeah.
He's doing it.
You just don't give a fuck. Wrenching it with water, puddle water. I've been there. Fuck, dude. That was not my proudest time, I'll tell you.
Dude, your beer? We're good.
I used spit one time.
No
I
shit.
spit in a spoon, and that is, dude, oh my God, when you got caught, that was so disgusting. It's when I look back on those, that's what keeps me clean. Because it's when you start drugs, right, they're fun. So for everybody who thinks there's any kind of glamorization here, when you start it, you're gonna have a great fucking time. Yeah, the whole thing is though, give it a year. Maybe less, maybe more, right? But eventually your life is gonna fall the fuck apart.
Yeah.
And you're gonna wind up in jail, you're gonna wind up homeless, you're gonna wind up fucking shooting up puddle water, having sex with homeless chicks behind a Walmart on a pile of cardboard. It's you're gonna live that life.
Yeah.
That comes with the fun parts.
Yeah. That comes with the price, right?
Anything that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So enough of the drug usage before people start using it.
No, so you're saying
you play.
So you said you got into jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu win, bro.
Okay, so check it out. So basically, I'm homeless in Albuquerque for a year. That was my catalyst to hit rock bottom, and I'm thank God that it happened. Right.
Okay.
I wound up racking up a couple extra felonies. Nothing violent. I was always just
who put you in rehab first?
So basically, it was I got caught for my last felony. I was shoplifting at Walmart, and shout out Carlisle Street. That's what I was homeless at the time in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Behind that Walmart. And basically I'm shoplifting. I got a bag of meth on me. They bust me on the way out, tackle me, they find the meth. That's an automatic felony. Okay. So I had all these charges accrued. I was looking at habitual time. Okay. So they were like, look, man, it's 10 years in prison, or you can go to this place called Delancey Street. Minimum 2-year stay rehab. Hardcore place, bro. They do not fuck around there. You come in there, head shaved. There's
army,
no phones.
Well, it's court ordered.
There's no nothing. It's a hardcore program, man. And I actually elected to stay 2 extra years. So I was there from 2016 to 2020.
Damn, you got out during COVID.
Damn, bro.
And we don't accept any government funding there. So
that was only 6 years ago.
So yeah, I've only been out for 6 years.
Damn.
And I hit the ground running, brother.
God
so basically, they have their own businesses. So why I own a moving company is one of their businesses is the moving company. In 2 months, I wound up on the moving company. Within the first year, I was running the moving company. So I was there's no paid staff there. As you stay, you get respect, which is so great for people like us. Learn responsibility and leadership.
So you're basically working to live there in a way, right? That's kind of
Kind
how it
of,
works?
yeah. It's just what they're showing you. So a lot of people come off the streets like me, never really learned proper
That's just
discipline.
part of the program.
Yeah, because
it's
there's a
part of
program
the-
out here like
it's called The Other Side.
Yeah, there you go.
That's an offshoot from Delancey. I did a speaking engagement there.
No shit. So
Yeah,
my
so
ex-wife's
graduates started-
brother went there before he passed away.
100%. It's just like Delancey.
That's fucking
Yeah, it's
okay.
the same
So I know
thing.
exactly.
We call it a
Yep.
life learning academy.
Okay.
Right, and we don't ever look at it as a disease. It's a behavioral issue, and primarily it's selfishness.
Yeah.
So if you can get over being a selfish prick, you could generally move past being a drug addict.
Okay.
But it can take a lot of years to learn that.
Right.
So, so basically they had a moving company. I ran that moving company. I was like, well, I got a pretty good knack for this. I'll start my own moving company when I leave. So I get out during COVID, very confusing time. Because, they did teach me like discipline and hard work and staying sober 4 years there. They didn't teach me how to like talk to normal people or how to fuck with women. Correct. In the 4 years I was there, I was celibate for 4 years, brother.
God
And,
damn.
I had all these skills, but I was terrified to make friends. So I get out during COVID, you get all these lazy motherfuckers who are collecting those $600 checks. I was like, no, look at all these jobs available. So I'm working 3 jobs. My business partner as well, he was my best friend from rehab. He got out a few months before me. We're saving every penny, working every night. One of my jobs was a server at Red Lobster. And this little 130-pound guy, shout out Chris, I know he's gonna watch this. He actually moved up here to Denver. He works for me from time to time. Love the guy, man. And he was serving with me that night. We're rolling silver. He's got these little cauliflower ears. And I was like, hey man, where'd you get them cauliflower ears?
Where'd you buy those from, bro?
Where can I get a set?
Yeah. Because he's
Those
like
on Amazon, bro.
he's like a small, soft-spoken Mexican kid. Dude. And he's like, well, I do jiu-jitsu. And you know what's funny, dude? He could have said, I do Krav Maga. I do Aikido. And I always wanted to do a martial art.
fucking karate.
He could have
I
said
don't give a fuck.
karate. And I would have,
was
that'd
just
be a completely
luck of the
different
draw.
thing right now. But luck of the draw was jiu-jitsu. And he's like, hey, we do jiu-jitsu, but we're doing it secretly right now because it's COVID. So you can come through, and it's just a small group. And I went with 2 other guys, man, who unfortunately are back on drugs. They were guys who had gotten out of Delancey Street. And I think it's always a test of character. Now, I'm not saying that jiu-jitsu has to be for everyone, but both those guys came in, they said, this is hard, I don't want to do this again. I came in and got my ass beat by Chris. And I was like, I want to learn this magic. How is this 135-pound guy?
What is this sorcery?
Yeah, what is this sorcery? And I just got addicted. And the great thing about jiu-jitsu in particular for addicts was that it gave me this community that, so I was terrified to make friends. I didn't want to talk to you. Everybody's drinking. Everybody's partying. Everybody's doing these things. I'm like, 4 years, I can't go down the drain. I'm a good father. I have a good relationship with my family. Like, I don't want to risk this. So I was just alone. It was very lonely. It was a lonely time. But then I go to jiu-jitsu. I'll tell you what, nobody's ever offered me heroin.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever offered me any hard drugs. Of course the boys, I'll have some drinks from time to time.
Yeah.
But it's not the other stuff. And you have to stay, if you're gonna compete anyway, which is kind of the circle I always wanted to be a part of.
Yeah.
Then you gotta stay on your shit. You gotta hit the gym, you gotta stay healthy, you gotta be fit, you gotta train.
You're around the right people.
Yeah, 100%, man. And so I just gravitated to that and really latched onto that community. And I've been there ever since. I mean, I train almost for the last 5 years now. I've trained almost every day. I mean, the only time I don't train is if I'm, for work or I just have to. I just can't.
So what was the first jiu-jitsu gym that you actually joined?
So it was Jesse Hawkins. Shout out Jesse Hawkins, jiu-jitsu. More of a hobbyist gym. I didn't last there too. I was there like a year.
Yeah.
Great gym though. I love the people there. But it was more of a gi gym.
Yeah.
And then I started dabbling in, that no-gi sorcery.
Did you not like the gi?
You know what? I liked it at first until I tried no-gi. I was like, this is way.
I kind of fuck with the gi, bro.
And that's great.
I didn't like no-gi, bro. Because
I
think when you start with the gi, you get so used to using the gi, right? Like with the chokes and shit like that. And then you go to the no-gi and it's like, well, how the fuck can I get this grip? Which is cool because then you have to figure it out, right? But yeah, the no-gi wasn't for me.
I just thought it was more fun, man. It was more dynamic. I would find that gi matches, man, if you just double collar grabbed, right, that could be 5 minutes.
Correct.
And it could be, and then I'm a mover too, so my hands, I found like messing with the gi made my hands hurt all the time.
Well, yeah, you get that fucking. Your hands are like this. Every jiu-jitsu guy that's been doing it for a while.
Yeah,
their
but
hands are
no-gi,
all
you don't
fucked
have
up.
that issue
Yeah.
as much. You know, so it was just, either way, I just gravitated more towards no-gi. So I left them. I went down to a gym in Albuquerque, Ground Assassins at Latrell Yee MMA. You might know who, Chris Latrell and Ray Yee. Ray Yee is Donald Cerrone's striking coach.
Yeah.
That was short-lived. And then we went to Dark Haven. We actually moved into their gym because we were homeless. Latrell and Yee split ways and closed that gym down. So we go into Dark Haven, and that's where I was at for another year until I moved up here.
And then up here.
Subhounds.
So Subhouse was your number one, or like was your first one?
No, when I first came up here, we wound up at 10th Planet Littleton. My boy Jaden, who moved up here with me and was working for me, him and me competed at a fight to win, and he got beat by this guy Dange. Okay. And I mean, he smoked him on points. So we're like, we want to train with these guys. And Monster Matt reached out at the gym. He's like, you guys should come through. Yeah. And man, I loved training with Matt. There's a great group of guys, real aggressive style. You know, we love that. You know, but it was a 45-minute drive in traffic to get down there. And
to pound for pound.
Yeah, then a 30-minute.
Shout out pound for pound.
Shout out pound for
gym.
pound. Yep. And it was, man, it was just too much. You know, especially when you're moving all day. And then, you know, you're like, dude, you're exhausted. Now I got to spend 45 minutes in traffic and get 30 minutes up. So I actually ran into Anakin McMahon, our head jiu-jitsu coach at Subhounds, at an open mat at 10th Planet. And he's like, well, we're 10 minutes down the road.
Yeah, because they're
we were training in garage.
Yeah.
We were training in Jimmy's garage at the time.
Yeah.
I was right on the tail end of that. Really happy I got to experience that because, you know, it's a
so
cool
I
thing.
went to Jimmy's garage a few times. Yeah, but just to spar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, you know, a jits guy, but yeah, I went over there, so I got to experience a little bit.
It was
of that
cool,
too,
right? Just to say, at least you
and Jimmy's
touched
a cool motherfucker, bro.
Yeah. Because, dude, the Subhounds are on the way up, man. You know, we finally have our own gym. You know, it's and we're gonna keep growing. You know, we went from a garage to being in other gyms, and I mean, they had more lore before I even got there. You know, I know they'd been like DCO and all over the place.
Around,
I was there
Genesis
from Jimmy's garage to Genesis to Morningstar to briefly to Tommy's basement.
Yeah.
and then to the new spot that we have in Federal Heights now.
That's fucking dope.
And that's
so ever since you just been doing no-gi, because in no-gi there's no belts.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
we get
there's no
belts
belt
still.
ring.
Yeah,
Do you guys do belt ranking there?
Yeah,
with,
you
with
still
the
get
no-gi?
belts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's like more of a gi thing, right? Like you get the belt, you get the stripes.
I mean, you still want it. You know, some people say they don't care about belt. You still want it.
Oh, dude,
You know what I
fuck
mean?
yeah,
Like,
you do.
Why
bro.
wouldn't you want the belt? That's
I want
Yeah,
the
but the
belt, too.
no-gi, initially the no-gi, I've never seen people get belts. Like you don't get like rank belt, right?
Oh, you get a belt. Most places still give you a belt.
Yeah, like when I
mine
was
sits on my
training-
little jiu-jitsu mantle at the house. I got a little shrine with, like, you know, a naga belt and all my medals and stuff, and I got my little belt sitting there.
So
It's like,
how many times have you competed?
dude,
Have you
I
been pretty-
got super strung out on it, like on competing, you know.
Hey,
Like,
that addictive personality,
yeah,
bro.
and so here's the funny thing, right? So I started training October of 2020. February 2021, I do my first tournament, right, in El Paso. I go down there, and mind you, I've never played a sport. I've never won anything in my life. I think this is what really got me addicted to it. So I go in, first match, boom, sub the guy. I felt like a Viagra with a face, dude. I'm like, yeah, like, because at the time you're like, I'm a fucking warrior. I just beat this dude in unarmed combat, right? You don't like think about it as, it's just grappling when you first start. You're like, I fought that dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then my second match, I won by points, and then I lost in the third round because I was just exhausted.
Yeah.
The guy pulled guard on me and then did a cross collar choke, and you know how easy it is to get out of close guard. You just posture. But I literally was so tired, I just let him pull me into it.
Yeah, you're like,
but
fuck it.
I won a silver medal, dude. I probably wore that medal around for 2 weeks. I never won a thing my entire life.
Did you shower?
But, I didn't shower with it. I didn't want to ruin it. I didn't want
he said, look, a shit, yes.
I took
If I didn't take a piss,
Oh, dude.
I took it off in a shower, though.
It was just so nice to finally win something, you know? And like,
Right.
Well, it's an
and to know what
accomplishment
that,
at the end
and
of
to
the
know
day,
what that feels like. So after that, it was just, dude, I would compete every 2-3 months. I've got, oh my god, I don't even know how many tournaments. But then it really accelerated this last year, and this year I haven't been competing as much. Kind of got a lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah.
But before then, sometimes I'd be competing 3 times in a month.
That's fucking.
You know, so I mean, I'd lose, but I'd win too. You know, I got this nice wall full of cool stuff to look at. You know, that I'm proud of. You know.
Yeah. But what I've heard is it's just you versus the other guy, right? Is how much work you put into it, and then you put that to the test. And if you lose, you got to work harder. And
100%. When you just fix the holes, man.
Yeah.
You know, and don't get me wrong, I want to win.
Right.
You know, anytime I go into a tournament, it's not, you know, that whole like you win or you learn thing. I just find that bullshit in the moment. Yeah, of course you're learning, but you're also losing.
Well,
you gotta know the difference.
if you're
like I got smoked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like,
I got some
lost.
shit to work on.
Yeah, exactly.
but you still wanted to win.
But but like I think it's both, right? It's like, dude, I gotta learn because that's why I got smoked. You know,
Yeah, but
this
there's
is
some
why,
guys who just
right?
put it too much to learning, and then you'll see them. They're learning a lot. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you're.
Maybe he's just trying to learn.
Maybe you should change that mind frame up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. You gotta have
retain
that
what you
winning
learned.
mentality. Speaking on the jiu-jitsu, so you joined the Wolverine. So can you go into that real quick? What the fuck is that? It seems like it's like 10 of you motherfuckers, right?
Okay, so basically, do you know what the PGF is?
Correct, yes.
Okay, Professional Grappling Federation, started by Brandon McCaffrin during COVID, and basically every year he's done it slightly different, right? He's adjusting, he's growing, he's all that. So in the last few years, he's gotten Zoltan Bathory from Five Finger Death Punch involved, a bunch of Gracies and stuff like that. So now there's a lot of money involved in it.
Yeah.
So basically, last season was the first time they started trying this team model.
Yeah.
Right, where they're gonna like do teams and like franchise teams.
Correct.
Which I think is an awesome idea.
That's fucking dope.
So it's fucking dope, right? So like basically you can have like football, like just football, basketball,
in
anything.
jiu-jitsu, yeah.
So these states, whatever, like some representative from there can buy a team, name it what they want, and like now you have a team. So this guy, Dave Seagraves, known as Egghead online, he's been doing commentary or something with them since like the beginning. So he's a Marine Corps judge. Finally retiring. In fact, I'm going to be moving him to Denver from Camp Pendleton into July. Might have risked his marriage to spend a bunch of life savings to buy this Colorado Wolverines team, right? Because their plan was to move back to Colorado. That's where his wife's from. So basically, I was the first one to reply. I think I was the first one to reply to his post. He made a post. And he was like, hey, we want to start a Colorado team. Anybody down to help or something like that? And I was like, me?
Yeah.
Like, I want to help, like that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And started chatting with him right from the very beginning. Got a great team of guys. It's as far as like the actual internal working team, it's not 10 of us. I believe it's Egghead. He started with his son, who's the GM. We've got TJ, who's a local, you probably know TJ. He's an MMA guy. Steinbeck.
No, I would have to see it.
Okay, yeah, but he's the strategist, a super ADD mind that can just come up with an incredible amount of like really good stuff to work on. We got a guy Andrew who's doing like a lot of like the Trello board, keeping things on track, and then I take care of partnerships, sponsorships, stuff of that nature. Basically, all the networking of the group. I think I have the least amount of autism. Maybe that makes me uniquely situated,
And what's the structure of the team? So how does it work?
Okay, so this is what's cool too. So basically, the way it was last year, it's going to be different this coming up year, is they did 175 pounds. You have 2 franchise players. We elected to go with Caleb Crump, you might know who Caleb Crump is, and Officer Grimy, Jonathan Wilson from down in the Springs. And then they do drafts for the other guys. So basically, there's these qualifiers that happen all over the country, and you can come and compete and get your name in the draft pool. So then sometime in March before the deal, or might have even been February, you come by and everybody drafts like a snake draft or something, right? Where you walk guys, you have a certain amount of money, and you try to get the best team you possibly can. We didn't win. In fact, we came in dead last this year on ours. But dude, I'd say we won. We had the best group, the best cohesion, the most energy. We had this kid Jaden Groner who got the MVP trophy, from PGF. One of our guys who was an alternate got the 6-man award for the best alternate. And you just didn't see the kind of energy that we had on our side on the other teams. They look like coworkers. This team looked like brothers, man. That was something cool that we built because look, man, you can have a team that can lose. The same thing as like, let's say you're a Seahawks fan.
Yeah.
Well, you had many years of being a very sad Seahawks fan, but you're still a Seahawks fan, and that's the kind of culture we're trying to build here. Like the Colorado Wolverines, maybe we had a bad year this year, maybe next year we win. So
do you guys get paid for this shit or what?
Not yet.
No, okay.
Yeah, this is a labor of love, brother.
Okay.
And the whole thing is too, these franchises are expensive.
Oh, for sure.
And so it's not paid off. You know, so we're gonna throw a tournament late July. I really hope, man. I really hope you guys in the community can make it out there to support it because
we'll be there. We'll be there.
We need it. We need people competing in it. We need people talking about it because like we have to make these payments.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's like when Egghead found these guys, dude. The guys who really got on board, we weren't looking out for ourselves. You could tell they're appreciative. He gave me a pirate sword from Gene Click, which is super dope, sitting in my house, right? But it was like none of that stuff. He always mentions, he's like, hey man, you know, I really want to make sure you're taking care of them. Like, let's get this team going.
Yeah.
Then we'll worry about all that. Let's get profitable.
We'll worry about
let's get all that stuff going, and then we'll worry about that because like this is everybody who's involved in this right now, like loves jiu-jitsu, loves Colorado jiu-jitsu, and wants to see it elevated. And this is an opportunity to elevate it, man. Being able to be in the PGF is just like it's like a bouncing board, you know, into ADCC, into everything else, you know.
Yeah, and jiu-jitsu is one of those sports, bro, that it just hasn't gotten the attention, right? Like I feel like it's
getting it
like,
now.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I would you say like Gordon Ryan kind of put it on the map in a way?
Gordon Ryan did huge. I think Craig Jones probably did more than Gordon
Craig
Ryan.
Jones is another one. Yeah.
To be frank with you, I'm more of a Craig Jones camp. I like, you know, dude, the sport we do is gay.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, lean into it. Make it, you know, like, come on, man. You know, like, when I'm in north-south on somebody with a Kimura and I'm planting my nuts directly on that guy's face. There's no, you know,
or they do it to you, it's like, fuck,
they
bro.
do it to me. You know, it's like, come on, bro. You know, if you can't make, like, dude, we get these alpha male guys in the sport, you know, post line quotes.
Yeah.
And it's just, I couldn't imagine anything more cringe. It's like, brother.
All right, let me ask you this, bro, because this one thing that it used to bug me. Now, you know, I'm like, I don't give a shit. I hated when jiu-jitsu guys were like, oh, I got to fight this weekend.
That's disgusting.
Bro, you got a grappling match, my
you do
dude.
not have a fight.
You ain't fucking fighting
You
nobody.
don't have a fight. There's no
Fighting
fight.
is fucking us striking, trying to
yeah.
fuck each other up, right?
I agree.
All right.
No, wait. Simpatico, brother.
All right. I was like, I don't want no beef with you, but I had to express myself.
Don't get me wrong. In the very beginning, when I didn't know the difference, and right, dude, to be honest with you, I treated it like a fight. I used to get in trouble in gyms. Somebody get me in close guard. I literally, my first, like, I think it was like first time rolling, I picked the guy up in the gym, slammed on the ground. I saw red. I started grape choking people. Like, I didn't know. You know, I thought we're fighting. Like, even in the gym, I'm like, oh, it's a fight. And I just can't hit you.
Yeah. You're grappling. You're not fighting.
Yeah, and then as you keep doing it, and you kind of chill out, you're like, dude, it's a sport. Like, don't get me wrong, some average crackhead or drunk guy in a bar, I'm gonna choke that dude out. Right?
I'm
you know what I mean?
I'm breaking that dude's face.
When I'm in a match, we're grappling, brother.
I think a match is a better word for that fight.
It's a match. You know, we're doing
It's
a
a
match.
match. It's a
the
grappling
same thing
match.
as even if they say like a boxing match. I do think boxing is closer to fighting, but at the same time, though, I think MMA is what you can call fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, MMA is a straight up street fight.
A street fight is a fight, right?
Yeah,
like
that's
you
a
can use
fight.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
So when people are like, oh, these fucking boxers against MMA or whatever the fucking thing is right there, I'm like, dude, any MMA fighter will fuck up a fucking boxer, right?
Well,
like in a
100%.
street fight, I'm saying, right? So
the closest thing to an actual fight is what I consider fighting, which is MMA.
MMA.
And obviously, the least amount of rules for what you can do, right, is what a fight is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and
'cause in a
MMA,
street
of course,
fight, you can bite a motherfucker if you wanted to, you know?
Yeah, it's a little different. Of course, that is the purest form of fighting, but MMA is followed closely.
Yeah.
No punching in the nuts, no biting.
For sure.
And that's why I put things like boxing, jiu-jitsu, judo, all that stuff into, it's a match.
It's a match.
We're doing a match.
Yeah.
For sure. And before we wrap it up, I got one question for you, bro. How was it when you trained with Donner, right? That's
I only got to do that once down in
the East Coast,
in
right?
Austin. No, I was down there in Austin, and it was really cool, man. You know the funny thing is though, it was all right.
Really? It wasn't like a fucking.
There's certain coaches I've gotten so much more out of.
Were you starstruck?
I was.
Okay.
I was
I figured.
starstruck. But it was like, their way of doing stuff, it was like, okay, show a couple techniques, then we do some positionals. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure if I trained with him consistently.
Was it also, it was a seminar?
No, it was just a class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just dropped into Henzo's down there before they moved to their new gym. And it was great. But dude, there's other certain coaches that just have a way of communicating. Vince Barbosa, for whatever reason, he owns East Austin Jiu-Jitsu Parlor.
Yeah.
I still use stuff I learned from him when he visited Albuquerque. There's Marcelo Garcia. That was a cool gym. I dropped in there.
Yeah.
He submitted me. This is before the cancer. and he submitted me 5 times in a round when I was a blue belt, and like I still remember stuff that he had showed during that class. So it's like everybody's gonna pick up or from something. So like one thing I try to tell people, like, oh my God, you've trained with these. It's like, dude, the guys I got the most from were the guys you've never even heard of.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's like you'd be surprised. Everybody's gonna learn from somebody slightly differently. So I always tell people, don't just do what Donaher says. Like follow other people and see if maybe they might connect with you better.
Yeah, maybe because your style, right?
Yeah, like 100%, man.
Yeah.
So,
But their teaching style too, and just the way people learn.
Yeah. For sure. That's a great point. And just to add to that, you know who Dwayne Ludwig is? I feel like Dwayne Ludwig's a fucking phenomenal coach, but his style is not for everybody.
Yep.
You know, there's some guys that are really good with them, and then like myself, because I trained with them, and I just didn't fuck with that, you know? Like I was like, that's not me, you know? But yeah, you make a fucking great point there. But yeah, man, wrapping it up now, where can they find you? When's your next Wolverines match?
Shout out your company too.
Shout out your company too.
Oh yeah, well let's run through the line of it then. I own Integrity Moving. Anybody in the community is stupid when they do not use me for moving. Okay, like I cut you a discount. We take good care of you, and it's the same way as I will use your business as well. So it's like anybody in the community who has some kind of business. If you're looking for moving or something, you know, reach out to me. We'll take care of you. And I always try to use the businesses of other members of the community as well. As far as the Wolverines go, we're going to be having that tournament end of July. Be on the lookout for that. You guys is going to help us tremendously to grow this team and have something for Colorado. So, you know, the more people that'll sign up for that tournament, shout it out, you know, come through, the more that we're going to be able to pay down the franchise.
Where is it?
Where can they find it?
We're still working on it.
Okay.
We're still working on the venue. We're working on all that stuff. But as we have more, of course, we'll put it out there.
Where can they find out updates for that?
Oh, I'm not sure yet. As far as hopefully we'll have some. We just finished the season for the PGF, so like now it's full steam ahead for the tournament.
Is there a Colorado Wolverines?
Yeah. So Instagram, Colorado Wolverines, Colorado Wolverines Jiu-Jitsu.com. I believe I could be wrong about it, but if you type in Colorado Wolverines in the search board,
it'll come up.
You're gonna find us.
Google that shit.
Yeah, I mean Google it. Instagram's Colorado Wolverines. You can't miss us. You can find me at Rosie Don, ROSEYYDON on Instagram, and you'll find all the links to them through mine as well.
And we'll put your handle on the on the video along also your company, which is what?
Integrity
Moving. Okay. And I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors who really helped make this first season happen, because without them we wouldn't have been able to do it.
Go ahead.
Connor Hune, Skin Shield Pro, awesome product. You take it once a day to try to help keep the ringworm, staph infections down. Connor Hune, of course, a legend, MMA legend, 10th Planet Black Belt under Eddie Bravo. He paid for that Airbnb for these guys to stay for 6 weeks at no small expense. Argyle Payments really helped us out. The guy who won the 6-man, they do credit card processing. Please reach out to them. Let me see here. Matt Enforcer Soap. Unfortunately, they closed down after the season, but shout out them, local company here.
Okay.
Mark Savage really helped us out as well. And of course, we could not forget We Defy Foundation, veteran foundation through Jiu-Jitsu, really helps everybody out, like who's veterans coming out with like hooking them up with subscriptions to gyms and stuff. And then of course, I would be remiss not to mention Eric Lehman with BJJ Wholesale and Simple Leaf, who provided all the gear for the company. Is my personal sponsor for Jiu-Jitsu.
Let's go.
Hooks me up with gear and stuff, and helps me out. And they've got some excellent products. I don't personally partake in edibles and stuff, but from what I hear from people, he's got the best in the business. And hit him up for all your custom jiu-jitsu gear.
Let's go. Well, there you guys have it.
Wolverine!
Donny, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure having you, brother.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks, man. Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah,
man.
nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
Stay tuned for the next one. Stay tuned for the next one.